Here we're solving the equation on the interval 0 to 2 pi, and I see that we have cosine in two spots, and there's also a square there. So that sort of gives me a hint that I might need to factor this. Now, in order to factor, I need to get my equation equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and that would get me cosine of squared x minus 2 cosine of x minus 3 equals 0. And then just as a tool to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to substitute in a different variable and say that u is equal to cosine of x. And I'm going to rewrite this as u squared minus 2u minus 3 equals 0. And I decided to go easy on you guys and give you problems with just 1 as my leading coefficient. So that means that I need to multiply to -3, and I need to add to my middle term, which is -2. And there's only two numbers that do that, and that's -3 and 1. And since this is a 1 in front of my leading coefficient, I can just take a shortcut and plop in those numbers. So u minus 3 is one factor, and u plus 1 is the other factor. Now I can go ahead and set those equal to 0 and solve for u. And I get u equals 3 over here, and u equals, oops, what the heck, Miss Hussey? I need to subtract 1. Okay, so here we go, minus 1, so u equals -1. Okay, but we didn't really have u, we had cosine. So cosine of x equals 3, and cosine of x equals -1. So at this point, you should be looking at your unit circle and thinking about where, when I take the cosine of an angle, do I get 3? And you might be looking for a long time, but there's actually no place, so that means there's no solution from this particular strand. But on this second part here, you can think of a place where cosine of an angle gets you an output of -1, and that place is where our angle is pi. And then the next place where we get -1 again would be adding a whole nother 2 pi, and so that would go over on my interval. So this is my only solution.